Are you guys ready? Yep, let's go. Just punch it out. Rest, boys. Single arm snatch. Right arm next. 2 rounds of it.
Robbie Hunter-Paul is a name synonymous with rugby league at the highest level.
Rest. Good work, boys. Keep going, Em. Keep going.
These days, the Bradford Bulls legend runs a marketing firm just outside of the city. At 11 a.m. every day, the team down tools and get active.
Let's go.
It's part of a health and productivity strategy that comes straight from the boss himself.
I was in an environment where physical fitness was part of what you did. So why don't I just make it a part of my environment? They work out every day, and because they're physically at their prime, no one's ever sick. Yeah, boys.
And Robbie Paul, they see him now on the big screen.
From a hero on the field at Odsal to chief exec of his beloved Bulls during the most difficult time in their history.
Brilliant hand, Robbie Paul for Bradford.
It was in 2016, 5 years after he hung up his playing boots, that Robbie faced the toughest months of his life.
2001.
I was CEO at the Bradford Bulls, so a real position of responsibility, and we got to payday in one of those months, and on payday found out from the accounts department that there wasn't enough money in the bank. I think collectively there was between 150 and to 200 people part-time and full-time. At the time, all the rest of the directors were abroad, and so all roads led back to me. And I got to admit, it was heartbreaking. I had people coming wanting their wages to my door, and I had nothing I could tell them. It was embarrassing, it was frustrating, and it was frightening. I'll admit that. The mother of my 2 oldest children, in a very short amount of time, she was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and she passed away. Both of my kids were living with me at the time, so I had the challenge of trying to hold them together. Their mum's dying. All of that knitted together in a really short amount of time. And throughout my life, I'd been a captain, I'd been a leader, been the person with all the answers. So that's what I expected of myself. And so I was trying to deal with all of these problems, and I couldn't think straight. I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating, I wasn't doing things that I normally do, like daily exercise. I was just trying to breathe, and I was even struggling to breathe. I was just being pulled apart at the seams. We got this. Nearly home. We're nearly home. I've always been smart enough to listen to doctors and coaches and physiotherapists when I needed physical support, and this was an opportunity for me to listen to people when I needed mental support. And so I reached out to Rugby League Cares, through Rugby League Cares out to Sporting Chance, and very quickly they put me on one-to-one sessions with a counsellor. It started my journey into mental health support. Are we ready to get underway?
Yeah, there's one not here, I don't think it's coming.
Okay. I've always considered myself a strong person, and I've always felt like I've had all the answers, and until I started to learn that there was a better way of looking after your own mental health, very much like there's a better way of looking after your own physical health by eating the right foods, exercising, doing things like meditation, taking time, being present. I've started to then learn that there was a better way to look after your mental health. And when you look after your mental health, everything else falls into place. So afternoon, lads. Hope everyone's doing okay this evening. You are? Are you all good? Yeah. Okay, let me just introduce myself. When we slide down the continuum towards mental illness and mental health issues, our productivity lowers. When you move back up the continuum towards mental fitness, you're more productive, you're a happier person, your quality of life improves. And that's something that no one ever tells you.
It's real-world insights like this that Robbie brings to the Ahead of the Game programme.
As lads, we've got a responsibility to actually understand our own mental health a little bit better, start having those conversations. Because
Broadly targeting teenagers in junior rugby league clubs across the country. 1 in 5 of them may experience a mental health problem in any given year.
So the ALEC model, it's an acronym. We ask how a mate's doing, we listen to what they say. Important that we listen to what they're saying. And we pay attention, because there's nothing worse than trying to tell someone what's going wrong and they're not paying attention. Mobile phone's more important. It ain't. It might mean their life. We encourage action and we check in.
October 9th, 2021, grand final day at Old Trafford. In the 728 days since Super League's biggest clash was last played here, Movember's Ahead of the Game programme has educated thousands of people, building lasting conversations around mental health.
What's one thing that you'll take away from today? Go on, pal.
Listen to people.
That's it, mate. Good stuff.
So what are the things you might notice? Lack of sleep. When you feel dizzy, shortness of breath like that one, stomach feels tight. You guys are bang on.
If your mate telling you, do you know I'm struggling, what do you have to do to help him, do you think?
Listen to them.
Exactly. Do you know what? There's nothing else you have to do apart listening to him.
Shortly, the players delivering the sessions and some of the junior recipients will meet again in the culmination of Super League 26. Challenge Cup winner Johnny Lawless has been part of the Ahead of the Game journey too, and knows personally about the power of talking when it comes to mental health.
When I heard what we're about, I jumped to the chance. It's been thoroughly rewarding for myself to go down community clubs delivering these presentations to kids from 12 to 18-year-old. It's been given me a great insight. It's great.
Why did you feel compulsed to get involved and to try and make a difference?
I'm involved at a community club called Siddle, my amateur club. That's where I used to play for as a kid. Just over 10 years ago, over the 16-month period, we lost 2 players. Obviously down to the mental health who took their life, 2 great people who were very close to Matthew Smith and Nick Shaw.
Let's think about that, go back to that point. You know, what was going through your mind, you know, when this was going on, and how did you feel at that time?
Matthew, such a popular guy, charismatic, very likeable guy. His close friends were devastated by it, and within 16 months of that, we lost another. My closest friend, Mick Shaw, ex-professional at Leeds Rhinos. We'd signed pro together as kids, we retired together at the same time, went back and played amateur together at the same time, and then retired from amateur at the same time, so we did everything in tandem. It was devastating to lose such a close friend. I lost those 2 friends through poor mental health, so me being here means quite a lot, and I think some of the things what they wish they'd known about, you guys are going to know about today. And it's called Help Out, mate. Knowing what I know now about mental health and the bit of education what I've got around it, there was signs and symptoms there. And the good thing is now we're going into the community clubs now on this Movember presentation, talking about what signs and symptoms you can recognise in a friend, and it maybe initiate a conversation. And that's when we're bringing the ALEC model. The world's strongest man, it affects all of us.
Well, this ALEC's really important, isn't it? So tell us a bit more about that.
So ALEC's just a simple way of remembering what to do if you think your friend might be struggling. It's an acronym which means we ask how the friend is, we listen to what they have to say, we're using active listening skills which we teach the kids about, and we encourage them to get help. That could be speaking to a parent or a family member or a coach or your club welfare officer, or going to see a doctor. And then we check in after, which is really important. So we've done all that effort to ask how they are and encourage them and get help. We check in how they are after and see where they are. So how do you guys communicate now? Snapchat?
It's Xbox.
Xbox on COD. Nobody plays Fortnite anymore, do they? That's yesterday, that's gone. Yeah, what is it, COD? What else? FIFA. Yeah. GTA. Yeah, we know it's COD, don't we? Yeah. So you can communicate, you can back it up with something, can't you? However you guys communicate, just follow up later, be smart, and just ask them how they are. Did they manage to speak to an adult? Did you go and see that teacher? Can I help you in any way? I can confidently say, John, I think it has changed this last few years, and kids do seem to have a better basis of mental health to start with than what I did and my generation did, which is a really good thing. But just having to know that, to get out, reach out and get that help, it's not a weakness. talk to a friend, talk to a teammate, but get the help you need and get back to being mentally fit like we want to be, playing this tough sport, what we all play.
Yeah, and the sport feeds into it, doesn't it? Because the sport is tough and robust, and we're probably coached to hide weaknesses, aren't we?
Yeah.
So rugby league has got a very unique sort of stance when it comes to mental health, or unique circumstances.
Absolutely. You know, the game rugby league, we all love it. I love my kids playing it because the life lessons he gets out of it. You know, learning how to win, learning how to lose, the respect for your opposition, the toughness of it. It's physically tough, it's mentally tough. So we're throwing all this at them, and it could create cracks and weaknesses. We want them kids to know that that's okay, but come out and talk about it if you are struggling.
In the most testing of times, the Ahead of the Game programme has unlocked the wisdom of former top flight players and has seen them form relationships with the newest entrants into the sport. Young players with ambitions to reach these same celebrated heights, now better equipped for what lies ahead of them. Today, they're reunited to enjoy the sport on its grandest stage, with new skills to take on all of life's challenges.
From the moment I got involved with Ahead of the Game, you know, I just felt like it was the right thing to do. It's been so beneficial for me personally, and I've gained so much out of it.
We had a great day today, and the thing I'll take away most is to look out for my mates.
If I ever see a friend that's a bit down, I'll always ask if they're alright.
Seeing that the kids are actually learning something, coming away having some conversations, and it's really reassuring that some of them understand.
This is the untold journey to the grand final of Super League. For the teams on the pitch today, it's been a test of their physical and mental resolve. But this story has pointed the cameras in the other direction, to a pioneering project, testing whether professional athletes can effectively deliver mental fitness training to young people through the lens of their own lived experience. Behind the scenes, we can all face challenges that feel just as intense as a Super League grand final, but that are unique to us as individuals. How we face up to them is something that unites us all in this stadium, across the sport and in our communities. Some of Rugby League's most decorated athletes are now leading the way, sharing knowledge, experience and solutions with the next generation. The conversation has started, and it's time to talk.